Hey guys, so I'm in the middle of baking and I just wanted to let you guys know that I started working back out again, and I think I may have went too hard because I'm so sore. I worked out glute and legs, and let me tell you, I can't even sit down properly on the toilet to poop. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathy Renee. For those of you joining me for the very first time, my name is Kathy Renee and welcome to the show. Okay, so as you guys know, I usually do a tutorial and a review. We're gonna be using the 35F Fall Into the Frost palette. I'm gonna open it for you guys right now. There, I went ahead and opened it for you guys. As you can see, I swatched the majority of these. I just want to make sure that, you know, they're good, blendful, buttery, but you guys won't know that till the end of the video. Alright, so I'm going to stop rambling. Enjoy the show, you guys. We're going to be using the 35F palette, Fall Into Frost palette from Morphe Brushes. The color that we're going to be using is this beautiful shade right over here called Memento. The brush that I'm going to be using is a Morphe M433 brush. Alright, I dipped the brush into the palette, I dusted it off, and what I'm going to do, very carefully, because this has like a lot of fallout, and at the same time I don't want it to go all over the place, and since it's really shimmery shade, it tends to go all over the place. We're going to do slowly windshield wiper motions, and then we're going to be doing little circles. So we're going to be blending this a little bit at a time. I'm not going to rush it, because when it's rushed, it gets very, like, really difficult and it gets all over the place. It's happened to me plenty of times before, so I'm just telling you guys this out of experience. At the end of the day, you guys are more than welcome to do whatever it is your little heart desires. I gotta pluck my eyebrows again. Okay, so I dipped the brush back into the palette. This time, I'm just gonna be patting it like so, like you see, like just back and forth. Just patting it. I'm not like exactly like blending it on like windshield wiper mode. I'm just like patting it back and forth. And then what I'm doing is blending little circles. Doesn't matter where you start, just do little circles back and forth, if that makes sense. And little circles, in my opinion, are the best to blend. And just keep doing this motion. Take your time. I'm gonna try this angle out just so you guys can see. I'm just blending. I didn't do anything different. All right, I did the brush back into the palette. I dusted it off, and then you can start wherever. I'm choosing to start in out of the crease, if that makes sense, and then just packing it in there, but going back and forth at the same time. And it looks, you know, kind of rough, but that is okay. And blending her out, and it looks really light on camera, but I promise you guys, it's so beautiful. It's like a beautiful sparkly shade, and it's like it looks brown. When the light hits it, it has like gold flecks in it. It's so beautiful. I love anything that has like any type of fleck in it. I think it's just like so unique and so pretty. It just makes your eyes look so pretty. Alright, so next shade that we're going to be going in with is this beautiful shade right over here called Obsidian. The brush that I'm going to be using is the Morphe M456 brush. I dipped the brush into the palette. I'm not dusting it off. What I'm going to do is pack onto the outer corner in a circular way. And then right now, I'm just blending into little circles. And go up to where your brow bone is. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if it's patchy, because at the end of the day, we're going to be blending it. I much rather blend first, have it patchy, so that way I can keep putting on more color on there. At the end of the day, what we are going to be doing is cutting the crease. I dipped the brush back into the palette. I did not dust it off. We're going to be doing the same thing, packing it on there in a circular way. And it's covering up the patchiness that we have here. And that's okay if it's patchy, because look, your eye's not perfect, and not every eye is gonna blend, but that's okay. That's why we have the right tools. So right now we're just using this just to create the color or the desired look. And so right now what I'm doing is just blending by little circles. Nothing crazy. Just take your time blending because we're going to be going back. And our goal here is going to be just doing like a gradient on the outer corner. Yes, it looks really rough, but remember, this is a process. You got to keep going. You got to keep blending. You got to believe in it. See, I believe in this eye look, and I believe it's going to look incredible. Off camera, I went ahead and cut the crease using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in White Flat Corrector. And the brush that I use is the Morphe E36 Brush. It looks like this. It's super helpful. It looks like this. I hope that you guys can see it. We're going in with the shade right over here. It is called Sun Kissed. The brush that I'm using is the Morphe M522 brush. So I dipped the brush into the palette. I am not going to dust it off. I'm just going to pack it on this outer crease right over here. And what's good about the concealer is that it's okay. I wait till it gets like kind of tacky, kind of sticky, so that way the shadow can press onto there. I dipped the brush back into the palette. I did not dust it off. So to continue on, so what's awesome about these shimmers and metallic kind of colors, once they're wet, they look very stunning. And I'm taking advantage of the concealer that is wet, so not only that the color can stick on there, but the shimmers can look really bright and really shiny, and that's what I enjoy. So just remember just to stick to the outer corner or the outside of the cut crease, if that makes sense. And just keep pressing it on there. Don't even blend yet, and don't even worry about blending because this is still wet, and once you start blending, it kind of creates like a mess. And I'm just saying this out of experience. If you guys want to blend all that's wet, let me know how that goes out for you. But I'm just passing her on there. I'm just trying to look for an angle so you guys can see. Next color that we're going to be going in with is with this shade right over here called Bliss. The brush that I'm going to be using is the Morphe M522 brush. I just have another one of these. I don't want you guys to think that I'm using the same one. I'm not using the same one. If you guys want to use the same one, go on right ahead. I'm just letting you know the brush that I'm using. Right, so I dipped the brush into that palette. I did not dust it off. I'm just pressing her on here onto the lid. And also, please be gentle to your lid. Just take your time packing her in there. I dipped the brush back into the palette, and I'm just carefully going on the crease area or around it. I like to blend just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, you guys. Just on the lid, and since I have hooded lids, I like to do this. Like raise my eyebrow so that way I can get in that corner very well. I'm dipping the brush back into the palette one more time just so I can make sure and go into that crease area. But super careful though. And then with the excess, I'm just packing her in here. I'm going to go back in with my brush, the 456 brush with the color Obsidian. I did not dip the brush into the palette. What I'm going to do is just blend out the outer corner. And then I'm going to go back in with the color. So here I go. I'm just blending it. Nothing crazy. And if you want to add a little pressure out to the outer corner, like where your socket is, do it carefully because that's what I'm doing. And I feel like by adding this type of pressure, it blends your eye. I hope that you guys can see. They may cause a little bit of discomfort at first, but you'll get used to it. Just a little bit of pressure. I don't want you guys like freaking hurting yourselves here over some tutorial. Okay, so I dipped the color back into Obsidian. I did it once. I'm not dusting it off, and I'm just gonna be packing it on the outer right over here to blend it in with Sun Kissed, which is fine. Just blend and take your time with this. This is, I usually say like don't worry about it. We're gonna blend in, but this time you just be really careful with it and just blend. Keep blending. Okay, so you can get whatever brush you want. I'm getting the brush that we used earlier. You can get a clean brush, whatever brush is your preference. And then what I'm doing is just gonna be blending out in little circles everything that we had already did, but only the top. Always avoid the cut crease area because we want to create this gradient. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go back in with Sunkissed right where we did it. So I keep saying Sunkissed like it's the drink. Well, it sounds the same. But anyways, I'm just gonna be packing it where we had originally had it. I'm gonna be packing it a little bit where we had this nude shade. I forgot the name of it already. And then I'm just gonna go back and forth, and I'm gonna go down. And I'm gonna be going in with the nude shade Bliss. I just found the name for you guys. And I'm just gonna be packing it on here again and just like blend like from the inner corner out, but just not all the way out, if that makes sense. Just lightly do that. Pack it first and then do that. And if you want to like raise your eyebrow just to make sure to get every nook and cranny of your lid, go on right ahead, because that is what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm done blending everything. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner on off camera, so I will be right back. So I went a little ahead of myself. Not only that I did the liner, I also did my lash. For eyeliner, I went ahead and used the NYX Epic Ink Liner in black. And then I already went ahead and did my right lash. I forgot that we were still filming. I got a little carried away. But these are the lashes that I'm going to be using. Is from Lily Lashes in the style Houston. I'm going to glue this on. And then I'm going to do the rest of my face. So, oh girl, we'll be right back. So back into the palette, we're going to be going in with these two shades, Sight and Belladonna. The brush that I'm going to be going in with is the Morphe E36 Brush. Let me show you a little like pink. I dipped the brush into the palette. I'm not going to dust it off. What I'm going to do at an angle, okay, because I want my eye to be really open. I'm just gonna be pressing it on here carefully though. I don't want to get in your eye, and also I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So if I'm at a weird ass position, sorry, but I want to show you. And then what you're gonna be doing is just going like back and forth, blending it out little by little. And what I like is I like creating colors in the bottom lid. I don't know why. Like, I know that some people prefer just one color, but I like to mix two colors. I don't know why. I just like doing that. I hope that you guys can see. I'm trying not to get it in your eye. And if you do, it's okay, because it's not like these are toxic or anything. These are safe to go on the eye. Hence the reason why it's called eyeshadow. It's safe to be on it, but not in it. And if you accidentally get it in, it's okay. So just keep blending it, you guys. Make sure that it matches with your right eye as well. Alright, so I forgot to tell you that I dipped the brush back into the palette. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just dabbing underneath the lid here. And this is optional. You do not have to do this. I just do it because I have hooded lids. And I want to make my eye appear more open than what it is. Alright, so the next color that I'm going to be using is Champagne right over here. The brush that I will be using is the Morphe M431 brush. Alright, so I dipped the brush into the palette. I'm not dusting it off. What I'm doing is just I'm packing it in the inner corner right over here. Let me kind of tilt this way. Hope the camera doesn't crap out on me. And I'm just doing little circles just so it can blend really pretty. Like, I was gonna go with a gold shade, but I don't know, I just like this one more. I never really use silver. Alright, so I dipped the brush back into the palette, and I'm gonna be doing underneath my brow here. So I'm just tapping it in here, lightly doing this, lightly blending it, okay? Now what I'm gonna do now is very optional. I'm gonna grab the first blending brush that we used from the beginning, which is the Morphe M433 brush. You can use whatever blending brush. My preference is this one right now because it's next to me. What I'm gonna do is back and forth really lightly, okay? And then little circles. And there you have it, all blended. Looks freaking awesome. Alright, so next two shades I'm gonna be using is these two. This one is Chiffon and this one is Starlight. And the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M441 brush. Alright, so I dipped the brush into the palette. I'm not gonna dust it off. And I'm using this as highlighter. You don't have to. I just choose to use it that way because remember, I am doing a tutorial for you guys and I'm going to be reviewing this palette as well. So I'm going to use it anyway. And remember, it doesn't matter what a product is for. You can use it for whatever you want it to be, as long as it's safe and as long as you feel good about it. So I'm just packing, not packing, but just patting it in up like my upper chin area. Oh my god, I'm about to call this a chin area. The cheek area, okay? And then I'm gonna be doing back and forth. And then I'm gonna be doing like little circles just so it can blend really pretty, really beautifully. And you can get that glow. It's really pretty, it's soft, beautiful. And then I dip the brush back into the palette. I'm just gonna be doing through my temple and like a little bit up here now. All right, so I did the brush back into the palette. I'm gonna be doing my Cupid's bow and also my chin. And the excess that I have here, I'm just gonna be going up and down my nose super lightly. I just hope that you guys can see because in this angle, I can't really see it. I usually like having like the mirror like on my face. That's okay. I kind of see it. And then with the excess still, we're just going to be doing it back and forth here on the tip of the nose here. Alright, so I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to figure out something on my lips. And I'll be right back. I finally look decent. Alright, and if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for making it to the end. Almost to the end. I really appreciate you guys that take that time out of your day to look at my video. Alright, but first, let's talk into the Fall Into the Frost palette. I'm just going to open it like this because it's huge. No, better yet, I'm going to do it like this because I fit in the frame and yeah. First and foremost, I want to say that when I first opened the palette, I was like, oh my gosh, they're all really shimmery. What the heck can I do? Because we need some mattes. So this first row all over here are the mattes, okay? And then the rest, okay, the rest from this row on are all shimmers. So then I thought, okay, don't freak yourself out. You can do this. So this is how I created this look. A lot of trial and error, let me tell you. But as I was testing out the colors, they're very pigmented. And they're very shimmery as well. So you are going to get your color payoff. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, a little bit at a time, you're going to see how shimmery and how pigmented the shadows are. They're really blendable, they're really creamy, they're really buttery. I'm describing food at this point because I'm hungry. But I recommend this palette only if you like the shimmery shades and if you know what you're doing with them. Now, as I mentioned earlier, obviously these are eyeshadows. These shadows here, I went ahead and used it as highlighter. You don't have to, but I chose to do that because at the end of the day, I am reviewing this palette for you. So I just want to let you know that you can also use it for your face as well. Like, not only just the eyes, just wherever you want, you can think of a way to use it. It's makeup. It doesn't have any rules. Just have fun with it. But yeah, this palette for me is a go. I hope it's a go for you guys as well. I'm glad that this batch that I have was a really good batch. Because I've noticed that some palettes that I've had in the past, I'm not going to say which brands, they pack it in there too much. And once you go in there with like the brush, it doesn't blend well. So these are just pressed into the pan very well. So enough about the palette. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the palette as well. I enjoyed the tutorial for you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, it took me a while to come up with this look because some of the tones in there are coppery tones. And copper is a fall tone. And I don't like the way that copper looks on me. So it was just really hard. Sorry if I keep staring at myself in the mirror, but yeah, so this is the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for following through. If you guys recreate this look, let me know. I would love to see your version of it, of what you did. But thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to like, subscribe to my channel, and please share this with your friends and your family. And remember, you guys, don't give up. Keep on going. Trust the process. And believe in yourself, okay? Alright guys, see you guys till next time. Bye.